While so much of the world's attention over the past couple of years has been on the wars in Gaza and Ukraine, a more severe crisis has been overlooked by many, with massacres, quite frankly, just as horrifying as the October 7th terrorist attack against Israel. And even with a death toll now of some 150,000, maybe even more than that. I'm talking about the civil war in Sudan. It started in April 2 years ago, and it's getting worse and worse, with aid operations in Sudan reportedly on the brink of collapse, with unimaginable atrocities taking place. In fact, the carnage in one Sudanese city has become so severe that bloodstains can be seen from space. It's unbelievable what's taking place. And the fact that hardly any reporting has been on this is just unthinkable. So what is happening and what can be done about all this? Well, joining me now to discuss this is former Virginia Congressman Frank Wolf, who founded and co-authored the Tom Lantos Human Rights Commission. He also authored the 1998 United States International Religious Freedom Act. He also led the first congressional delegation to Darfur in Western Sudan. Frank, welcome back to Washington Watch. Happy Veterans Day to you.
Thank you, Jody. It's good to be with you. Thank you very much.
Well, it's good to see you again. Listen, you've done so much, and I do want to get to solutions in all of this. But let's start, if you would, Frank, give us just a kind of a brief overview, if you will, of the situation in Sudan, both historically and currently. What's happening?
It's horrible. It's so horrible that the best word would be, it is genocide. It literally meets the definition of genocide. There's massive killing. There's rape. There's starvation. Your stories are coming about mothers having to decide what child they want to see to live. And so it's about horrible as you can possibly be. Both sides are bad. The Sudan military army is very, very bad. But the RSF, which is originated in Darfur, out of what they call the genocide, if you remember, in 2004, are even worse. So the genocide is beyond imagination. Some of the people who were actually committing the genocide are actually taking pictures of what they're doing. As you mentioned at the outset, Congressman Senator Brownback and I were there with my chief of staff, Dan Scanlon. In 2004, what we saw then was terrible. Now, what's taking place now is much, much worse. And we came back and we called Secretary Powell, Colin Powell, and say, designate this as genocide. This is unbelievable. To the credit of Colin Powell, Secretary Powell, he did. Now the condition is so much worse. I mean, death and destruction, and you don't hear very much about it. You're the only people covering. Wall Street Journal covers it a little bit. New York Times covers it a little bit. Once in a while, the Washington Post, but it's a very dangerous place. So for the reporters to go, they are basically risking their lives.
So what can be done about this? Let's get to some solutions. You've been there, you see it, you have a good understanding. Are there some specific steps that can be done to help remedy this problem?
Yes, there are. One, it has to be called genocide. Our government has to designate this as genocide. So anybody knows that they're putting any weapons and doing anything, they're basically going to be complicit in the genocide. So number one, it must be called genocide. Number two, Jody, we need to appoint a special envoy. If you recall, we had Senator Danforth in 2004, a special envoy who's really tough. Maybe even a retired military general, if you recall, AFRICOM, which controls our military in Africa. Somebody like that is really tough because both of these guys are generals. So call it genocide, designate a special envoy, and then begin to send messages. For instance, the UAE has a number of retired American military officers that are working for the UAE. They're not involved in genocide, don't get me wrong, but they're helping them on weapons and arms and things like that. They should be told they have to come home. They cannot go there without the approval of the Defense Department. They should be told they have to come home until the UAE stops aiding and sending weapons to the RSF. So that is clear. Also, Saudi Arabia is given. We're supposed to have a great relationship. Saudi Arabia is helping the other side. Egypt's helping the other side. Turkey, your previous person just talked about Turkey. Turkey's involved. And the fighting has gone for 2 years. The numbers of death are in the hundreds. I mean, people exaggerate. I see it 150,000, some say 400,000, but it's thousands upon thousands upon thousands. Next, those military officers are told they cannot work for the UAE while the UAE is sending weapons to the RSF to kill people and literally do terrible, terrible things, which we won't get into. Next, the NBA's there. The National Basketball Association is there. They have tournaments there.
Wow.
They should be told no tournaments. No tournaments in the UAE. Why the UAE is doing what they're doing. They're sending weapons into the RSF. The RSF is about as bad of a group that you're ever going to have. I mean, if it get any worse, I don't know where it would be. It would be in hell. And they should be told, no, you can't. NBA, they have tournaments there. The NBA should not be.
We're going to have to wrap it up right there. Former Congressman from Virginia, Frank Wolf, so great to see you again. Outstanding information. I hope your voice is heard. You're looking great, my friend. Happy Veterans Day to you.